Hi, it's Mel McGee, founder and CEO of We Can Code It. Today, Colleen Baldry interviews instructor and educator at We Can Code It, Pilhoon San, about his experience as employee of We Can Code It and member of the education team here. She's going to ask him some questions about what he teaches, how he heard about us, what he thinks about We Can Code It, and what makes us unique. Fulfilling aspects of We Can Code It. And he really dives into the values and onboarding process that he experienced here. And Colleen joins him in that. And I will tell you, as the CEO and founder, that makes me very proud. So here we go, folks.
The first question I'd like to ask you is, what do you teach at We Can Code It?
Right now I am helping with a part-time Java class, but it is for full stack. We don't do just Java. So we start with Java because it's quite foundational, and we use Java to kind of go over some foundational knowledge about how, coding works in general, but it's full stack for creating websites. So we do everything from backend all the way to CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and how to design a database itself. So I'm helping out with those classes, but also a lot of my time is dedicated to creating curriculum. So I've been creating different assignments, creating videos for those assignments, and also working on creating a totally new curriculum for SQL, which would be kind of a added on like upskill class to go into a little bit more advanced details about a specific area, in this case, SQL.
Awesome. That sounds great. So, how did you hear about We Can Code It?
I was interested in different types of teaching roles. I've always enjoyed teaching. So I was kind of looking around online. I did see the We Can Code It boot camp that was getting a lot of attention. And then I saw some job postings. I think it was in Indeed. So I applied there, and Jen reached out to me, and I think it started from there.
Perfect. Okay. And why did you decide to teach at We Can Code It instead of working as a developer?
So I was a developer for quite a while, and I worked in technology for a long time. Right now, I do still do a little bit of coding here and there, but I really believe, and I'm a strong advocate in everyone, regardless of their, age or background or where their career is at. I do believe strongly that anyone and everyone could benefit from learning technology, or at least having a general understanding of how technology works at a foundational level on how code works. And I have a strong belief that it's the same as how they teach science or math or social studies in elementary school. It's just foundational knowledge that hasn't caught up yet. But I really feel that not only does it help you to learn in daily life, but I also feel that it's very empowering. So I really wanted to kind of contribute to that cause in teaching people technology. But on top of that, We Can Code It had the mission of really empowering people that have been underprivileged so far, and including all those different areas of people. So that was kind of an added on attractiveness to me to participate in the organization.
That's perfect. That actually kind of piggybacks off of the next question I'm going to ask you. So,
Okay.
if you'd like to elaborate a little, you can, but what
Mhm.
do you think makes what makes We Can Code It unique from other boot camps?
I would say it's two-part. So it is an amazing boot camp. It is a great way for people to learn technology regardless of their skill level and regardless of their background. But I think there's two big things on top of just being a great boot camp that makes We Can Code It different. And I think the first is We Can Code Its mission, where it, champions social equity through technology. I think that mission is really embedded into everything that we do. And it also meshes really well with teaching people technology to people that are not as used to technology. So I just think it's a really good fit on the mission that makes the boot camp a lot more enhanced and better. And on the second part, I think what makes We Can Code It boot camps different is its really tight connection to the industry. I think We Can Code It, we put in a lot of effort so that we are very well connected and have all the insights of what's going on in the industry right now. So compared to other boot camps, I think it really sets you up for success later on in your career. I've encountered a lot of boot camps where they would teach you a specific topic, and that's fine. They would teach you Java or Python, etc. But it's mainly focused on, okay, we have this curriculum, here's all the knowledge, here you go. But I think in We Can Code It, we always have that perspective of how this would be used on your next step, in your next phase, in your career. What are people doing in the industry right now? How is this going to help your resume? And I really think that our focus compared to other boot camps is very heavy on your next stage of your career. And I think that really differentiates us from other boot camps.
That's awesome. Thank you. Can you describe your experience so far in the We Can Code It classroom environment, or with the
Yes,
students that you've talked to so far?
it was I find it very exciting. And I've been in a lot of teaching environments or training environments, a lot of adult education. And in a lot of cases, that kind of enthusiasm or passion factor is missing. But I think in the We Can Code It classroom, the instructors do a very good job in bringing out that passion, bringing out that excitement in students. And that shows off in not only the passion to participate and to learn, I think it also shows off in all the creativity that the students demonstrate in doing different projects and just jumping in and trying things out themselves. And that's another big thing that We Can Code It really encourages. And I think throughout the whole program, we always have this in focus where we want the students to try things out themselves. We want them to actually get on the keyboard and code starting from the first day. And I think a lot of that kind of orchestration of the classroom atmosphere manifests in students being a lot more dynamic, a lot more creative, and a lot more enthusiastic throughout the learning process.
Awesome. All right. So, what would you say is the most fulfilling aspect of teaching at We Can Code It?
Um, I
If you
would
had to pick
definitely,
one.
yeah, yeah. I would say it's definitely um, the feeling of kind of fulfillment or satisfaction in the fact that I'm contributing to a higher cause that I align with. And on top of that, when I'm teaching or creating curriculum material for We Can Code It, I get the very strong sense that I'm directly helping people. And jobs are jobs, and I've done a lot of different jobs in my career, but it's rare and very unique when as you work you feel like, oh, I'm creating something that would help people. And when I and in the teaching environment, teaching students, I know, oh, I'm helping these students with their careers, with their well-being, with their next phases in their employment. And this could spread out for them to contributing more and more to the community. And when I'm creating curriculum, I know that when I put in a lot of effort into this curriculum, into these assignments, it's going to help potentially a lot of people. It could be reused, it will become our assets, it could um, help people understand this concept better, or that method better. So just that feeling to be very directly connected to helping other people, I think is a very fulfilling aspect and something very unique in working with We Can Code It.
I totally agree. I feel that way too working here. That's
That's
great.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say is your favorite part of the company culture here at We Can Code It?
um so when I first started working in We Can Code It, I went through a very kind of um, robust and thorough onboarding process. And whether it's a new company or a new project or a new team, I've been through a lot of onboarding processes in the past. And when the onboarding process is thorough or robust, sometimes it means like they just like shower a whole bunch of information on you. Like, this is the process, this is the workflow, you do this, these are the people, these are, et cetera, et cetera. But with We Can Code It, it was very thorough and robust. But the main focus of it was on our mission and our values. And I found that to be very refreshing. Um, so I just know that this is an organization where the company culture or the values that we try to uphold, that is their most important thing. It's not, production. It's not, memorizing, all these forms and processes. It's not the workflow. Those are all important. And it's in our values that we want to uphold performance. But the most important thing is our mission and the values we try to uphold. And that was made very clear by having that robust onboarding on our mission and on our values. And I think that was just a starting point where I understand, oh, this is an organization where upholding those values is of critical importance. And as I work in We Can Code It, I could definitely see that. It's the company culture is different from different organizations, different teams, different project teams that are worked with. People actually put in a lot of effort because it's out there in the open. It's very, very clear. So I think in everyday, interactions, people know that this is what we're trying to do. And I think that kind of alignment made the culture very different. And just one more thing on the onboarding. I really liked where we had different values. And in my case, it was Arlene. But you would talk through with somebody in We Can Code It, but it was not just this like lofty value that's like very high level and squishy. They're not just throwing it out there. They actually put in looks like and doesn't look like, and really makes it tangible so that you would know exactly, okay, here's this value, here's this goal. And it's like pretty high level, it's nice, but they actually shows how it should manifest in our daily interaction. It would look like this, and this, and it doesn't look like that, and that. So it just made it very, very clear. So when you work together on what is expected. And I think that work culture just makes it so much more fulfilling for each participant to know that they're, working together in that manner. So I think that was very unique and really impressive to me on how the organization got together for it.
Absolutely, I agree. I went through a similar situation when I joined too. So, would you say you have any specific We Can Code It value that stands out to you the most?
Um, I really liked a lot of it. I think we had like 5 or 6, and for each of them, it all had looks like, it doesn't look like, and there was actually a kind of like a discussion around each one, very brief kind of conversation around, oh, we're doing this, this, and this. And I really liked all of it, and I understand why they are values. Um, One thing that kind of stood out to me, and I think this is actually the first one, was be the best at what we do. And I think kind of like that striving for excellence as a culture is very important. And people know that we're all trying hard. People know that we're all trying to be the best at what we do. But in that value, it kind of points out how it would look like. And they all make sense. They're very tangible, and I could connect with each one of them. But within the looks like for be the best at what we do, it points out that we want to, or it would look like, putting effort into a culturally inclusive learning environment. And that's just out in the open. That's our value. That's how we feel that be the best at what we do is going to manifest as. And I think that sends a very strong and clear message that we're always trying to align with our mission. And we are trying to be inclusive because that is what we strive for. So I felt that that message was very strong, and I really connected with it very well. Resonated with me. And kind of on the practical side, still under be the best at what we do, there was a very strong point made on project and problem solving or problem-based teaching methodologies. So I kind of mentioned this earlier, but we're not just focusing on, here's how things work. Look at me, memorize these methods, memorize these commands. We really want people to jump in and solve problems by themselves. And we as an organization actually put that out as our value. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to create a teaching environment where project-based or problem-based is at its core. And I think that also resonated with me a lot, and I align and agree with it. I think when students try to solve a problem themselves or work in a project environment, it is very helpful, not only on the learning process in how well you learn, but also on how enjoyable that process is. And I also think it connects very well to the next phase when you actually become a developer or you become a developer in a different area. That experience in working within projects, finishing projects, trying to solve problems by yourself, I think that experience would really shine. And having that as our value, I think also sent a very strong message.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add about being an instructor or We Can Code It in general?
Um, I think it's as we point out in our values and as people align with the mission, if these are values that attract you, and if this is a mission that you feel any kind of passion for, I think this is a very, very healthy and a very productive environment to work with. And as you see how other people interact, and as you see how people align to the mission, I feel that you would be very proud to work here.
Thank you so much, Pill. That's awesome.
Yep.